So now we have the books here. So all we have to, we're just going to decorate this page somehow. And then that'll be the outside. So that's what we're working on right now, is finishing the outside. But these two are the flat parts of the outside that are sometimes inside. But this just needs something. And whatever it is, it has to be kind of flat. Well, one thing we could do is we could make a tiny slider. It would have to be only slide out of the top. It probably wouldn't be too thick. Or it could slide out of the left-hand side. But we could make like a frame in the center of the books. We can make a frame, and then it could have a tab. And when you pulled that tab, you pulled one photo out and it uncovered another photo. And they could both be 5x7. If we did that, they could probably both be 5x7. We'd have to take some notes. I'm just trying to think of what kind of slider I want to do. If I want to do a plastic slider or not. Let's do you guys have any thoughts? You want to do a slider? Do you want to do... I guess we could do a book fold photo mat as well. I'm going to do a slider. I'll do a plastic slider. Now, normally, when I do a plastic slider, I would use plastic from my recycling bin. But since the recycling bin has been emptied, I'm going to have to cut a piece of plastic to use. Oh! Nope, sorry, I thought I had a piece of plastic. I don't. All right, I'm going to have to cut a bag. I'm gonna have to cut a bag. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut one of the bags from am I frozen? No, I'm not frozen. Okay. All right, I'm fine. Just that my preview panel is frozen, so it's fine, it's fine. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these bags. These are the bags that I use to put my kits in, and I always have a few that have been used, you know, a bunch of times that are all crinkly like this. And those are the ones that I like to use for sliders. So I'm gonna cut this at 3 inches. And then I'm also going to cut the bottom off it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You're just trying to cut the bottom off. Okay. And then you want to cut one of the sides. And so usually there's like feel to see if one side is thicker and cut the thicker side off. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to keep this with my stack of papers that they don't mess with. All right, so we're going to make a slider. And do I want to make... Maybe I don't. Maybe is the slider too thick? I mean, it's probably fine. All right. Okay. I'm gonna just make it and hope this still closes. And if mine doesn't close and you are making one of these for yourself, you can then just put a photo frame instead of a slider. All right, so we need to pick a pattern of paper to use for our frame. So this is going to be what goes around the photo. I'm going to go for a new sheet of paper. And probably want something more in the orange tones, in the orange variety. Okay. So, was Delicious the best book of the three? Judy, did you read all three? I'm going to use this to make the frame. Okay. All right, so if I want to make a slider and I want to make it for a 5x7 photo, then how big do I want to make it? Okay, let me think. I have to do math now. Because sliders are, you know what? Okay, I'm not going to make a slider anymore. I've changed my mind. Because that's just going to add bulk that I don't need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pocket that'll frame a 5x7 photo, and then we'll pull a tag out of it. Okay, we'll pull a tag out of it. Okay, so if the opening is 5x7, oh, I still need to do math. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if the opening is 5x7 to show the photo. So that's to scale, obviously. And then if we want the frame to be an inch, then this needs to be 1.25 inches. So then we would add 7 plus 2.5 would give us the total dimensions for the length. And that would be 9.5. So it's something by 9.5, and then so we add 2.5 to the 5. Okay, so it's 7.5 by 9.5. All right. So our cardstock needs to be 7.5 by 9.5. Like that's the part that shows. But then in order to make it a pocket, we need to add a half, let's add a 1/2 inch to the bottom and 1 inch to the sides. So it's 8.5 by 10. All right. 8.5 by 10. So we need a piece of black cardstock that's 8.5 by 10. Okay. Then we have to move this, move this, move this. It just sounds like I threw that on the floor. I obviously had a place for it in my office that I put it, of course. All right, so we're going to come in 1.25 inches and make a frame. And I'm just gonna cut it. Okay. I'm just gonna cut it. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm not gonna worry if I cut too far, because it's gonna be covered with pattern paper anyway. Oh, I didn't fold it, so this 1.25 inches is wrong. Great, 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 great. Because I need to come in 1.25 inches from the folds. So it's still 8.5 by 10. Then it gets scored on the 8.5 inch side at a 1/2 inch and at 8 inches. And then at 9.5 inches on the 10 inch side. And then you're going to put your ruler on the score lines, and do 1.25 inches from the score lines. Okay, now, if you want to see something creepy, Now the top doesn't have a score line, so from the top, it's still 1.25 inches from the edge. There's an AI that makes original artworks. So if you want to see what a computer thinks art is, let me tell you where to look. Go to artaigallery.com. So artaigallery.com. Specifically, one of my favorites was Father's Daughter. And when I'm done cutting this last thing, I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. Okay. And you can buy this art. You can buy this art. So if you want to have a beautiful painting for yourself, you can. You can totally do it. It can be yours. So like this one that I'm about to show you, it won't let me, what? Whatever, I can get around that. I'm not letting the perfection that is Father's Daughter not be seen by the world. You'd rather have art painted by the drafts at your local zoo? Oh my gosh, okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, there it is. There it is. This is what a computer thinks people want to see. I don't know. I was just like, how does this happen? How does this happen? So, like, the dad is okay. So this is called Father's Daughter. This is the father, I guess, and he's like okay. I mean, there's some problems. But like this one, this is the daughter, I guess, and I don't know if she's graduating. This kind of looks like a tassel. So like maybe she's graduating Like this looks kind of like a mortar board and a tassel. So I think it's graduation from Cthulhu Academy. Oh, from Miskatonic University. All right, I'll get rid of it. But come on, like, I I looked at them this morning and was like, why are you trying to sell these? Anyway, so Father's Daughter is currently on sale for $119 if you want to put it in your dining room. Okay. So I'm going to fold along the score lines and burnish. It would be a lovely wedding gift for intern Liz. Priya says, will it make people stop? What if you put this in your dining room, no one ever says, what's for dinner ever again? Maybe that's the secret. All right, so we're going to put our tape on the front. Anyway, so based on these paintings, I think that maybe we are safe from a robot uprising for at least a little bit more. For at least a little bit more. I don't think they're quite ready to take over the world. All right, so once you've cut your corners, fold them over to make sure they don't overlap. All right. So now this whole thing is 7.5 by 10. So we need to cut our paper to be, let's see, 7.5 by 10. So our paper would be a 1/4 inch smaller. So our paper would be well, our paper is 7.5 by 9. The folded pocket is 7.5 by 9.5. So our paper needs to be 7.25 by 9.25. All right, and so that will be, go right in the middle there. Yep. All right, so now I'm just going to cut 1 inch in from all the edges, and I'll just use my Fiskars trimmer for that. All right, so this is a frame now. And we're just gonna cut the corners on a 45-degree angle. So I'm gonna put them on the 45-degree angle line of my disc. Just cut them with a ruler and a craft knife. Should I tape them first? Or, even better, let me... Oh, this pen is like too dry. I'm just gonna use a normal pen. Rather than cutting it apart, because it's already a frame and we're not framing something that already exists. Just going to draw in the joints. And let me just grab I'm going to grab this 0.08 marker that I have, and I'm going to just go over the line to make it a little bit thicker and a little less perfect. All right, there we go. All right, and so that's how you can make it look like you made a frame without making a frame. Okay, now I'm just gonna ink around the edges on the inside and the outside and add tape and stick it to my book. It's a faux frame, exactly. And you can do this when you're not trying to go around a not like the way we did it the other way. That's if you're trying to frame a specific thing where you don't have the dimensions, or you want to use strips or something like that and save paper. So the other way I showed you in this series is a good way to go. I should have done a recording break in between finishing the witch and starting this page, but oh well. Oh well. So who has something? What are people doing for Thanksgiving? We wouldn't have done anything for Thanksgiving except my sister was getting married this weekend. So we're just piggybacking off of that. Thanks, Bev. Okay. All right, so that's inked. And now we'll just tape it and stick it down. So I'm going to go around the outside. And then I'll go around the inside. Yeah, we're also doing our traditional dinner, which is picking up the food from Cracker Barrel. So, they just emailed me the reheating instructions today. They being Cracker Barrel. I'm gonna go pick up the food on Wednesday. Thank you, Ella. Yeah, we still have to make the bags of the s'mores, of course, because we could, you know, we wanted to wait until it was closer so nothing would get stale. So we have to bag them up still, but we have made all the tags and we have all the twine cut to close them. But yeah, we were making those during the tropical storm. But if you didn't see the tags Ella's talking about, these are some of the extras. So we made these tags and then we cut them out and punched holes in the top, and then we're going to use baker's twine to tie them around a bag that has 2 graham crackers, a jumbo marshmallow, and some squares of Hershey's chocolate so we can do, so everyone can have a s'more. All right. So now we can stick this to the frame. So it's going to look like so. Very cute. And then we'll put acetate and a photo mat. In fact, let me stick this down and then we'll add the photo mat and then we'll add the acetate. This is going to be too thick. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm even, whatever, it'll be fine. If we just have to like jam it, we'll just jam it. Like at this point, I mean, we're working on our Halloween project and Thanksgiving is next week, so I don't even know anymore. What is time? What is time? Hi, Mercy. How's it going? No, let go. Thank you. Okay, come on, stop. All right, just release, just relax. You're gonna be okay. You don't need to stick right here. This is not your final. No, don't tear. Oh my gosh, seriously? Are you stuck everywhere? Okay. Woo! That was fun. Okay, so where it's split right here, I just can put some liquid glue and I can glue it back together. So just put a little line of liquid glue there and then just kind of press it back into place. And that's going to heal your little split right there. Like it never happened. Okay, we did it. We did it. All right, so now we're going to cut a piece of white cardstock that's 7 1/4 by whatever this was. 7 1/4 by 9 1/4. Okay. It adds character. Yes, this is a frame you've had for years and years. Years and years and years. Okay. So where this is going to go is here. And it's going to go even with the top. Okay. And then we're going to fold these around and they're going to close it. And so the photo mat's going to make the pocket. Okay. And we're going to just stamp it right there. And then we can put another tag with a photo mat on top of it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape around this. And then we'll make a tag to go inside of it. All right, and then we're going to, we're working on our fall project, our Halloween project. The project that was cursed and will never end. But I think it's ending. So, like, I feel like the end is near. The end is near. You know, like the curse is lifting, because even though my house flooded from the tropical storm, which was bad. Sorry, I have to put this tape backing on the top again because the top doesn't get folded over. So we don't need to remove it. You know, the computer's fixed. Stuff's getting to be more normal around these parts. I mean, I do have a wedding and Thanksgiving coming up, but like I'm confident that this will be done before it's 2021. Probably. This will probably be done before the end of the year. Like, do you like my confidence? We got flooding, but like, I don't think it was from, you know, we never had any standing water. I think that there's something wrong with the foundation. Because it's not like we flooded, but rooms of my house flooded, so, during the storm. All right, so now here's our pocket. So I think there's something wrong with like either the stucco or the foundation or something, because it's not like we ever had standing water or water rushing past the house. It just, we have 2 rooms that are soaked. Yeah, we have on Tuesday we're coming to get a quote from the remediation people to find out what is going to be done. They've already been here twice to do the dry out, And when they came the second time to check to see how things were drying, they had to leave all the equipment because nothing was dry. And they told us the master bedroom is going to be dry by the time they come, so they won't have to do anything too much to the master bedroom other than replace the carpet pad. And then like put the carpet back down. But like our gym, they said is like a total loss because like the concrete is still soaked, they said. So they're gonna have to pull everything out so they can dry out the concrete, and then once the concrete's dry, they have to redo the room. So yay. Okay. All right, so the next step is going to be, we're going to put the acetate, we're going to just slide it in and stick it to the front. Okay. So I'm going to cut a piece of acetate that's 7 1/4 by 9 1/4. And, you know, I say acetate, but you know I'm cheap and I use transparency, so. All right, so I'm just going to put tape all the way around the edges of this. All 4 edges. So yeah, so Tuesday they're going to come. Tuesday they're going to come. That'll be the 3rd time they'll have been out, and they're going to assess both rooms. And what they told us last time that what they expect from this 3rd visit is that the master bedroom will be declared dry, and they'll just put new carpet pad and replace the carpet, and then it'll be done. Not replace the carpet, put the carpet back in place. Because one of the things we learned from this is that, like, they told us, they said carpet you can save because carpet dries out. It's the pad underneath that doesn't dry. So they just ripped out the pad from under. From underneath the carpet. So the carpet's just laying there like a rug right now. But yeah, like I said, they told us that they didn't think when they came back that the gym would be drying out. So fun for us. Fun for us. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slide this in, tape side up. So just going to slide it in. And then just with the bone folder, go over it. And now it's a pouch. So we just need to make something to go inside of it. And then we can peel the tape on the back and stick it down. So it's going to go here. Oh, let me get the thing. Oh. Okay, so it's going to go here. Okay, that looks cute. So I think that's what they're going to look at on Tuesday. Because as part of the remediation, they said they want to do it. They want to make it so it doesn't happen again, obviously. So that's what I think we're going to find out on Tuesday is what's causing the leaks. So, yay. All right, so this can go down. So I'm going to stick this down now, and then we'll make the insert. So, but if they don't mention anything about the causes of the leaks, I'm going to say, I'm certainly going to ask them, like, why does this keep happening? Because we've already had the gym, you know, we already had the stucco on the outside of the gym wall patched because there was a crack in the stucco that they thought was the problem last time. Now, we didn't, it's not the same people this time. And these people have said that they can tell that people have tried to fix the gym more than once. So not just the people who came last time, but like people before them have attempted to fix the gym. So I know, Judy. I mean, I can't imagine what they're just like, what is this? They bought a money pit for sure. All right, so yeah, that's what they said. They said that multiple teams have been out and looked at this house. So that they think there's something more significant, like not obvious wrong with it, I guess, because people have already tried all the obvious things. So, all right, so there's the pouch. And so now we just need to make a tag. So we know our tag is 7 1/4 by 9 1/4, and then we'll put a tab sticking out. Are there tabs in this collection? Are in the embellishments? That would be nice if there were. If not, I'll just use my old McGill punch. Watch this be like no tags, no tabs. Okay, so what I'm going to do to make my tab is I'm going to cut out the ghostly greetings. And we're going to tab it with the punch board, and then I'm going to cut a chunk of this plaid that's the same section. So see, like I'm going to cut it from here to here, and I'll tape them back to back. All right. I do have a brother scan and cut, but mine is like, either I'm incompetent, which is a very strong possibility, or mine is not good at seeing, because it doesn't cut stuff out all that well for me. All right. So now I'm just gonna cut this. I'm going to glue them back to back like I said, and then use the tab punch I mean, they can ask for more rent. If they want more rent next year, we'll just buy a house. Because yeah. But yeah, if they ask for anything like unreasonable in terms of a rent increase, we are going to try and negotiate with them because, like, for example, there's a lot of stuff that they have not done because of, you know, the current situation that is in our lease that they will do. And so we can be like, look, you know, we didn't sue you for violating the lease because of what was going on, you know, but you are not doing what you have to do. So, like, I don't know why you think when you haven't done your job for a year, you should get more money. You know, if anything, you should be giving us refunds. So we'll see how that goes. But my guess is because of what's going on that they won't try to do it. But if they do, I mean, whatever. That they will just have to find someone to live in the house because I am not going to live in the house if they try to increase the rent by a lot. I will just buy a house in the next town over, Valrico, and call it a day. There are some nice communities over there. And that's where we've been mostly keeping an eye. We keep an eye on what, you know, property is doing in the area, and that is the area we like the most. So we'll see. Okay, so I'm just pressing that down. Well, we think the lots are nicer than they are in Riverview, because in Riverview, like, it seems like Valrico, that there's more space in Valrico, you know. And it's easy to get into Riverview from Valrico or into Brandon from Valrico, so that's kind of, you know. So yeah, but we'll just see. All right. And this one's gaping a little bit. I'm just getting the ones that are gaping a little bit. It's probably hard to see on camera, but I'm just taping them down on the inside edge. How are the kitties dealing with the leaks? Well, the guests aren't here yet, but the kitties are already not having a fun time. All right, let me just move this for a second so we can make whatever goes inside of it. All right, so 7 1/4 by 9 1/4. Let me make this tab real quick so it can dry. Actually, I'll just tape it. Well, Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my craft tape to tape the two halves together. Am I being mean to the kitties? No. But like we've been doing there's been a lot of upheaval. Like, you know, when we replaced the dishwasher, for example, you know, there was a guy here. They don't like it when there are people in the house. The fridge water broke. There's been a guy here for that. The fans, they hate. The fans in the bedroom. Tiny Cat just runs around the bedroom and cries and cries and cries. Like, and then she sleeps in the closet, the bedroom closet all the time now. So until the house is more normal, I don't think they're not too happy. So I think they're gonna have a rough few weeks still. I mean, Kitty's mostly chill. Kitty does better with change anyways. Like she just, you know, she just sees what's different and she just needs to sit with it for a minute and then she's okay, you know. Whereas with Tiny Cat, it takes a while, a real good while for her to get over it, you know. So she's not loving it. Okay, so I'm just gonna, oh, that's just what I need for you to get stuck. I guess it did not want to go through that tape. Oh wow, the tape, it just stretched the tape instead of cutting it. So I guess I'll just cut through the tape around the shape with my scissors. It cut through the paper, but not the tape. So I'm going to stick a little piece of paper in between the sides of the tape so it's not cutting through 2 layers of tape. And maybe that'll help on this side. Okay, so that did not do it. And now it's jammed. Okay. All right. So now we have a tab. All right. And it will work like any other tab. We can put it around the tag or whatever insert we put into the pocket. So I'm just going to ink it and add tape to it. Okay, it's got Tiny Cat furs in it. So, I mean, you know, and the cleaners came, and Tiny doesn't like the cleaners. So, it's just a lot. It's a lot for Tiny Cat right now. And yes, she's pretty high strung. Just in general. So, but this morning, she was running around on the bed yelling because she had been curled up, you know, and she wanted someone to stay with her all day. And it's like, we can't stay with you all day, Tiny Cat. I'm sorry, we can't. I'm just getting rid of the excess tape that's sticking out over the edges. Tiny Cat's extremely bossy. Yeah. Her normal state is aggrieved, you know, like she just is, it's just a matter of you figuring out what specifically you did wrong this time. All right, now we have a tab. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm so excited when things turn out cute. So I'm going to ink it from the front and from the back. Yeah, so, you know, she is how she is. Anyway, okay, now let's see. So we've got that to go on our tag when we make our tag. Our tag is 7 1/4 by 9 1/4. Okay. Okay, and because it's 7 1/4 by 9 1/4, it can hold 2 photos, 2 4x6 photos. So what I want to do, I think, is I want to draw. Okay, let's see. Let's get the calculator. All right, so it's 9 1/4. This the length. The length is 9 1/4 minus 8 7/8 for 8 7/8 is, you know, those mats I do that's just 2 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 photo mats on them with 1/8 of an inch at the top and bottom and in between. That's 8 7/8. That's where we get that. So that means this is 3/8 of an inch bigger than normal top to bottom. So we need to do something with 3/16 of an inch on the edge. On the top and the bottom. Well, it's not quite 1/4. It's a 1/16 of an inch shorter than 1/4 of an inch. But I'm thinking if I put 1/4 of an inch, I mean, you could still put 2 photos in between if I did 1/4 of an inch of a strip of pattern paper or something. That's one thing I could do. The other thing I could do is I could cut this to 6 1/2 by 8 7/8. And it just wouldn't, well, we're going to lose some at the top for this. So I don't want to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this down. And I'm going to just line this up with the corner. And I'm going to line it up with the edge of the plaid. And then I can peel all the rest of it and press it down. And honestly, I think I'm just going to leave it like this. And I'm just trying to think, what do I want to do? What if I drew black lines for the photo mats? Like as if those were the edges of the photo mats, like with a pen. So that there were two rectangles of black. And then I could stamp in the middle of them. Just that would be a little interesting. I'm just going to eyeball halfway between 1/4 and 3/8, because halfway between 1/4 and 3/8 is, or halfway between 1/4 and 1/8, because that's kind of where we need to be. And then I'll lightly draw a pencil line. Okay. Then I'm going to switch rulers because I need my wider ruler for this. I'm going to draw a line 4 1/4 inches up from that. From that pencil line. And again, I'm going to do it lightly with a pencil. And if by doing it lightly with a pencil, if I feel the need to adjust, I can. Then I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch up from that line. Draw another one. And then another 4 1/4 inches up from the most top line. All right, I think this is going to work. All right, so you can kind of see where we're going with this. So then what I want to do is I need to calculate the sides. And honestly, there's enough room. I could have come up a full 1/4 of an inch at the bottom, so I didn't even need to make it complicated. So on the back, I'll just do 1/4 of an inch. All right, so it's 7 1/4 inches on the side. It needs to be 6 1/4 inches, so we need to take off 1/2 inch on the sides. That's not a 1/2 inch. Okay. Ah! That's the worst when you get it lined up perfectly and then you nudge it with your thumb. Because I'm confident in this, I'm going to draw with a pen this time. So very carefully, I'm going to draw from line to line and line to line. Okay? Then I turn it around and do the same thing. And then I'm just going to use the ruler to connect all the lines. And then in the center of this is where we'll put the photo stamp. Okay, so I'm just going to erase where it shows on the sides. All right. So now we are just going to take the pencil, or not, take the stamp and stamp it. All right, so that's how it looks. And so these are 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, so you can just put a photo right in the middle of them and they'll have that black line traced 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip it over and do it on the same side, and or the back. And I'm gonna just make this easier on myself. I'm gonna do 1/4 of an inch for the first one, then 4 1/2. From the edge, 4 1/2 from the edge, 4 1/4 from the line. And then come over 1 more 1/8. And then from that last line, 4 1/4. And then from the two sides, we're going to do 1/2 an inch. From line to line. And then we're going to do all the lines. Just connect them from point to point. And you don't have to do black, you could do gray. If you have a bunch of colors of fine tip pens, like you could do this orange. You could have fun with it. Okay, So once again, we're going to do the erasing and then we'll do the stamping. And then this page will be done. And tonight we'll be working on the inside. So I'll show you the outside all together. And I'll show you it in its tabletop display form again as well. And then we'll wrap it up into its folio display and we'll be good. We'll be good to go. And then I'll be back at 9 and we will work on the interior. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so this now goes, all right, let's get the whole thing. I'll go over how it works again and then show it in its working form and then we'll be back. Okay, so this goes in here. What are you, okay. All right, so there's our tab sticking up. We've got our 2 photos. They'll peek out. You'll pull the tab. You know, you'll get it out. You got it. You know how that works. So this project is designed so that it can be wrapped around and connected to itself to be the centerpiece of a table. Okay, so that's the whole point of the project. All right, is that it can form, you know, this octagon. Well, it's a square that's also an octagon. It's a squoctagon, as we've been calling it. So this could go in the center of a table. And so what would happen then is you see all the different sides as it's going, but it can also fold all the way up on itself to be a folio. So you can look at it like this, you know, or you can put it on the table, however you're going to do it. So you see the things that were, by the way, we had plenty of room to do that pocket. It's not pushing up against the next one, so we're good. So, so that's how it works. So we finally have finished the entire outside. So that's what the last piece was. So we've got all the pieces that are on the outside. They're all done. Okay. They're all done. So the entire outside is done. So when we come back tonight, we'll be working on the inside. We need to do the pieces that are on the inside when it's in its display. So what I'm talking about when I say inside and outside is when it's in the display position. So you can see how it's all black on the inside. This is what we need to do when we come back tonight. All right. But I feel like we have made a lot of progress on this despite its very rocky start. But here we go. Like we are getting to the end. We are getting to the end. So of our Halloween project. You know, will we finish it in November? No. No, we won't. We will probably finish it in December. But you know, we already did our Christmas project, okay? So I'm not behind on the holidays because we already did Christmas. We're just out of order on the holidays. We're just going with a unique order for the holidays. That's what we're doing. All right. So I will be back at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time. I will put this video on YouTube so that the whole project will be on YouTube. It'll go up tomorrow. It'll go in the archives after the show as normal. Check the video description for a link to the full playlist for this entire project. I gave all the measurements so you can make one at home. And I'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern USA time to continue working on this. That is 4 hours and 50 5:50 minutes from now. So whatever time it is where you are now, just add 5 hours and that's when I'll be back. And we're going to keep working on this until it's done. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a happy Halloween. And I will see you in the next class. Bye now.